Good evening, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, together with the Presidential Communications Office.
We bring you the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news coverage from the People's Television, IBC, Philippine News Agency, Philippine Information Agency, and Presidential Broadcast Service. I'm Princess Abiba Saripaudak.
And I'm Joe Fernandez from Radyo Pilipinas. Welcome to Balitang Pambansa. Tonight's headlines. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. pledges to continue former President Ferdinand E. Marcos Sr.'s legacy during his visit to his father's tomb at the Libingan ng mga Bayani. Visitors flock to various cemeteries to pay their respects to their departed loved ones on All Saints' Day. Pet owners or fur parents visit a pet cemetery in Cavite, which offers a decent and proper final resting place for their beloved fur babies. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. vows to focus on disaster risk reduction and response and climate change mitigation. The Philippine National Police records a 62% drop in crime rate since the start of the Marcos administration. The chief executive paid his respects to his father, former President Ferdinand E. Marcos Sr., who is buried at the Libingan ng mga Bayani in Taguig. The highest official of the land reminded the public to always honor those who blaze the trail to give Filipinos a chance to continue to thrive in a more peaceful and prosperous world. PTV's Kenneth Paciente has more.
Exactly 9 in the morning when President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. arrived at his father's grave, former President Ferdinand E. Marcos Sr., at the Libingan ng mga Bayani. Former First Lady Imelda Marcos was also there. A solemn mass was held at the former president's grave. The president expressed gratitude to those who joined them in remembering his father.
Kaya naman mas naging makabuluhan ang aming Undas dahil sa inyong pagdating. At lalong-lalo na dahil nararamdaman namin na mula sa inyo ang pagmamahal ninyo.
The chief executive also recalled memories with his father, which although mixed with sadness, still inspire him greatly.
Bata pa ako, nakita ko na yan at sinasabi ko napakagandang gabay yan. Ngayon na nakaupo ngayon ako bilang Pangulo, mas lalong naging mahalaga ang kanyang mga salita.
He also vowed to continue his father's legacy by working to drive development in the country and improve the lives of the Filipinos.
Alam niyo, pagka meron tayong patay, nakalagay dyan, RIP, rest in peace. Siyempre, yan din ang ninanais natin para sa aking ama. Ngunit hindi sapat na sasabihin lang natin rest in peace. Para mag-rest in peace ang aking ama, kailangan ipagpatuloy natin ang trabahong sinimulan niya, ipagpatuloy natin ang pagpaganda ng Pilipinas at ang pagmamahal sa Pilipino.
Marcos Sr. died on September 28, 1989 and was buried at the Libingan ng mga Bayani with full military honors on November 18, 2016. Meanwhile, the president distanced himself from Vice President Sara Duterte's statement about his father.
I'd rather not, thank you.
When asked if his relationship with the vice president has reached the point of no return,
Let's talk about it some other time.
throughout the day, the situation at the Libingan mga Bayani remained peaceful with no reported troubling incidents. From PTV, Kenneth Paciente, Balitang Pambansa.
Cemeteries across Metro Manila are filled with families honoring loved ones through candles and flowers. In Manila's South Cemetery, many came to visit their departed loved ones. According to authorities, the Undas commemoration here at Manila's South Cemetery was peaceful with no major incidents reported. In Bagbag Public Cemetery in Novaliches, Quezon City, a large fire and thick black smoke were encountered by visitors after a fire broke out in the residential area just behind the cemetery apartments. According to Quezon City Fire Department Operations Chief Marvin Mari, 30 families were affected by the fire. In Tala Cemetery in Caloocan City, the number of visitors has reached tens of thousands today and is expected to increase by tomorrow. 12 personnel from the Caloocan City Police are stationed to ensure peace and order around the cemetery.
On the other news, House Speaker Martin Romualdez urged to observe All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day by honoring the legacy of saints and departed loved ones through acts of unity and compassion. House Speaker Martin Romualdez emphasized that while our loved ones may have passed, their values, love, and courage still continue to guide us. He also called on Filipinos to honor the legacy of their loved ones by embodying their kindness and unity, striving to create a more compassionate and united country.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, called on Filipinos to honor the legacy of soldiers who risked their lives to defend the country. AFP urged Filipinos to take a moment of observance of All Saints' Day to remember those who died, wishing for peace for their families while honoring all who have served and protected the nation. Meanwhile, yesterday, the Philippine Army, or PA, together with a team of Boy and Girl Scouts, honored departed heroes, former presidents, soldiers, former state leaders, and national figures during a flag-lit setting and candle lighting ceremony at the Libingan ng mga Bayani in Fort Bonifacio, Taguig City.
For many people, pets are members of the family. Hence, there is real grief and sadness felt when a pet cat, dog, rabbit, turtle, or even goldfish loses its life. But a special facility in Cavite catering to preserving the memory of our furry friends and giving them a comfy place to rest forever where they can be visited anytime is helping people and families deal with the grief, as PIA correspondent tells us more.
What started as a favor to a friend who wanted to keep their beloved pet close after it passed away has now become a go-to for pet owners who want to bid their final farewell amid the picturesque landscape of Silang, Cavite. Manuel Reyes, who is a veterinarian himself, found the need for a place where fur parents can bury their pets that have passed.
So naiintindihan namin yung bond ng pet and ng guardian sa isa't isa. So nararamdaman din namin pagka nawala yung mga fur babies natin. So syempre, ang mission ni Pet Valley is to give support and comfort sa mga guardians.
For 18 years, Pet Valley has been providing a final resting place for pets, from dogs, cats, snakes, and even pigs, who have become part of the family. Pet owners can choose between cremation and burial services, which Pet Valley expertly provides. Pet Valley's unique services are available in several areas, including Metro Manila, Calabarzon, and even Bicol region. They offer 24/7 memorial services, including picking up the remains of our pets to be prepared for their funeral services.
If ever na meron silang inquiries, pwede po kayong mag-message, pwede kayong tumawag anytime.
It offers funeral services including interment, eco-friendly burial, and cremation within the price range of 5,000 pesos to 9,500 pesos.
Yung mga guardian natin is mas aware na sila na meron tayong mga pet cemetery, marami na nagpapalibing and nagpapakremate. So mas pinipili na nila na bigyan ng halaga yung mga fur babies nila para maipalibing na maayos.
Pet cemeteries like these provide fur parents a place to grieve and their treasured friends to finally run free. From PIA Calabarzon, Patricia Bermudez, Balitang, Pambansa.
Risk reduction as well as disaster resilience is within handle or people's control to keep them safe or better protected from extreme climate or when nature goes rogue. Sturdier and more reinforced infrastructure to withstand the fury of wind and rushing water, and more efficient drainage and flood control systems to keep water levels in check are but a couple. And as our Kenneth Paciente reports, there are three overriding objectives the President laid out in the country's pivot to risk mitigation and disaster resilience.
Following the devastation of Typhoons Christine and Leon in some parts of the country, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. assured disaster risk reduction and response will receive greater attention, whether at the local or national government level. The President emphasized it needs to be further strengthened, especially with the effects of climate change being more pronounced and tangible. This requires the development of flood control systems after being overwhelmed by recent typhoons.
Kaya naman, maraming pagbabago sa pagpaplano ng mga infrastruktura na pinapatayo natin, yun ang mga kailangan gawin. Maaasahan ninyong pagtitibayin pang ating national at local disaster risk reduction at response. Bahagi na talaga ito ng pamumuhay natin. Itinuturing na high risk ang ating bansa sa epekto ng climate change. Kaya kailangan natin maging magaling sa larangan na ito.
The administration also aims to address the challenges of climate change.
Upang una, mabawasan ang namatay sa bawat sakuna. Pangalawa, upang mabawasan ang bilang ng mga tao at pamilyang naaapektuhan. At pangatlo, upang maprotektahan ang mga maliliit na komunidad at ang mga kabuhayan nila dito.
The chief executive also pointed out that political affiliation should never interfere in times of calamity. Instead, cooperation should be paramount. He assured the government and its agencies will continue to provide assistance to those affected.
Mga kababayan, hindi tayo titigil hanggat hindi pa nakakabangon ng lahat. Walang pagod ang ating mga ahensya. Naririnig namin ang inyong saklolo at ginagawa namin ang lahat upang mailagay kayo sa mas mabuting kalagayan.
The president also encouraged the public to pray for those affected by the recent typhoons.
Kaya't ngayong Undas, bukod sa ating mga yumaong mahal sa buhay, ay isama na rin natin ang ating panalangin para sa mga biktima at nasalanta ng sakunang ito.
The DSWD and DILG had previously assured the government has sufficient funds allocated for immediate aid to those affected by calamities. From PTV, Kenneth Pasyente, Balitang Pambansa.
The Philippines has received 2 helicopters from Indonesia that will assist in the ongoing humanitarian assistance and disaster relief or HADR efforts for those affected by the recent typhoons Christine and Leon. 2 helicopters from the Indonesian Army and Air Force landed at Villamor Air Base. Indonesian Ambassador to the Philippines, Agos Wijojo, along with representatives from the Philippine Air Force and the Office of Civil Defense, welcomed the crew and assets. This demonstrates Indonesia's readiness to assist the Philippines and the strong relationship between the two nations. Meanwhile, the easterlies will affect the eastern sections of Luzon and Visayas. Based on Pag-asa's latest weather forecast, Palawan will expect cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms. Cagayan Valley, Aurora, Quezon, Bicol region, and eastern Visayas may encounter partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms. Meanwhile, Metro Manila and the rest of the country may experience partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms due to localized thunderstorms.
Coming up, the Department of Science and Technology highlights the indigenous people's innovations in Occidental Mindoro.
Heidelin Diaz Naranjo eyes the inclusion of weightlifting in the Palarong Pambansa. More stories when Balitang Pambansa returns.
Magmula sa ating kalupaan hanggang sa matatagpuan ang maliit nating bida. Kaya ngayong Sabado, tawagin ang tropa dahil ipakikilala ng ating next-gen environmental biologist ang organismo magpapatunay na siya ay small but terrible. Dito yan sa Expert Talk.
PTV Consumer Watch, bantay presyo sa gasolina. Tara lumikha. Boo to you from our craftsy crew. Samahan kami gumawa ng witch hat na perfect pang trick or treat. Spooky skeleton handprints naman ang ating ipipinta. No costume? No problem. Bubuo tayo ng Halloween glasses. Sining ang magniningning dito sa
Artsy Craftsy! Paalam!
artsy, craftsy. Sabado, alas 10:30 na umaga. Dito lang sa inyong People's Television.
Despite the challenges posed by typhoons Christine and Leon, the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, have remained steadfast in delivering timely and compassionate services to affected families. As of Friday, November 1, the DSWD has distributed over 969,000 family food packs, or FFPs, to families impacted by the storms across various regions of the country. The DSWD continues to emphasize that every life is valuable and remains committed to supporting those in need, especially times of calamities. On the other news, it's not the rain from above to worry about. It's the slimy, slippery, and cakey mud on the ground which adds up to the aggravation. Nonetheless, the surviving loved ones of the deceased will endure whatever it is in their way just to get where their departed lay on this most solemn day for some reminiscing and prayer, as PTV's Dennis Osorio tells us live in a graveyard in Polo, Valenzuela.
Princess, rain started pouring here in a cemetery known for its perennial flooding in the mega city. The rain has stopped now, but the area has gotten even more difficult to navigate and the mud even thicker. Regardless of the weather and the rather tight and sticky situation, Filipino families continued to flock to over here to Pulo Cemetery in Valenzuela City. To get through the mud and the flooding, most of the makeshift bridges are made of wooden planks and sandbags. One of the cemetery's caretakers, Baby, stressed there has never been a year the cemetery was not flooded, to the point the flood waters have been a peril.
Pero mahirap yung isa matatanda na maglalakad yan, magdadalaw o magdadala sila mga kandila, madulas. Kaya hindi ko sila pinadadaan dyan, pinaiikot ko sila sa loob.
Such situations are not seen as obstacles, as visiting one's loved ones is more important during the days of the dead. The 2 days of the year dedicated to celebrating, remembering, and praying for the lives loved and lost ahead of ours. Just like the Santiago family, November 1st of every year is seen as an opportunity to celebrate and an excuse for a reunion.
We start to prepare like in October 1st, we try to do the repainting, check all the damages, and put all the gardening all together, because we know that our families, my friends, ng nanay at tatay ko, are coming to visit them.
Miss Gina added this is one way of giving thanks to their relatives and ancestors who've left them with wisdom and values. But flooding in this area cannot be avoided, so they have no choice but to adjust. Items and memorabilia elevated, and the mausoleum renovated and elevated as well. Such as the recent Typhoon Karina when the floods were waist deep.
Damage is a damage, so we live with it. So wala tayong magagawa, talagang bagyo, at sana nga yung mga ibang pamilya na mga kapitbahay namin nasa baha meron silang baha, and I know they did something about their loved ones.
Princess, the first 2 days of November is treated with solemnity, but it is clear that in the Filipino tradition, it is a celebratory time for most Filipinos as we gather together and have a reunion. It is also that time when we celebrate the lives of our dearly departed loved ones because of our familiar culture. Denise Osorio from PTV Manila for Balitang Pambansa.
Many thanks, Denise Osorio.
The Department of the Interior and Local Government, or DILG, congratulates the Philippine National Police, or PNP, for a 62% decrease in crimes during the first 2 years of President Ferdinand E. Marcos Jr.'s administration. From July 21, 2022 to July 28, 2024, there were 83,059 crime incidents, down from 217,830 in the same period from 2016 to 2018. The PNP's crime clearance and solution rates also improved by 27% and 10% respectively. These results reflect the PNP's commitment to public safety. The DALG urges them to continue their important work for a safe and peaceful country.
The recent maritime dialogue in Manila between the Philippines and the European Union focused on opposing unilateral actions in the West Philippine Sea and enhancing maritime cooperation, particularly through Coast Guard collaboration. The discussions emphasized maritime security and the need to address illegal activities in the South China Sea, stressing adherence to the United Nations Convention of the Law of the Sea and the 2016 Arbitral Award. Additionally, the meeting addressed the situation in the Red Sea and called for the release of seafarers from the seized Galaxy Leader. The next meeting is scheduled for 2025 in Brussels.
Freedom from violence and strife caused by rebellion is something that many areas in the Davao region value and cherish. Hopefully, with the help of the livelihood programs of the Department of Labor and Employment in Region 11, these places remain insurgency-free. Philippine Information Agency Davao Region's Rudolph Alama has more.
The Department of Labor and Employment 11 is fully supporting efforts to sustain Davao Region's insurgency-free status. During the October 28 ceremony marking the second year of the insurgency-free status declaration in Davao Region, Attorney Randolph Pensoy, DOLE 11 Regional Director, said they have laid out several programs in Davao Region to provide sustainable livelihood to former rebels who want to live in peace.
Mga kasamahan o kaibigan o kapatid o kasama ng mga river returnees, mayroon tayong mga livelihood program na binigay sa kanila.
For sustainable livelihood assistance, Regional Director Pensoy said these benefits are given either to associations or to individuals.
May livelihood program na pwede silang into association at individual. Pero mayroon tayong mga river returnees program sa Davao Oriental na ang DOLE ang nagbigay ng livelihood sustenance.
Other DOLE programs include the emergency employment and the TUPAD or the tulong panghanap buhay sa ating disadvantaged or displaced workers. Another form of assistance is the government internship program or the GIP.
Meron din tayo mga river returnee naging GIP sa Dioro natin, part ng ating programa na makasali sila at makalawak sa government employment.
From PIA Davao Region, Rudolph Ian Alama for Balitang, Pambansa.
In time of Indigenous Peoples Month, a team led by the Department of Science and Technology explores grassroots innovation with Mangyan communities in Occidental Mindoro. Philippine Information Agency Occidental Mindoro, Diane Gurimbalem, has the full report.
Innovations or diskarte at the grassroots level should be recognized, the Department of Science and Technology or DOST emphasized during the recently conducted Saliklakbay Solutions Mapping and Immersion in the Mangyan Indigenous People Community in Barangay Naibuan, San Jose Occidental, Mindoro. Saliklakbay is part of the DOST Grassroots Innovation for Inclusive Development or GRIND program, which aims to capture solutions crafted by the people in the communities to solve their problems using resources that are available in their area.
Ang saliklakbay na mula sa salitang saliksik at paglalakbay ay isang proseso na hindi lamang naglalayong magmasid kundi bigyan ng kapangyarihan ang mga lokal na innovator at palakasin ang kanilang mga boses at kontribusyon.
Some innovations shared by the locals are related to handicrafts such as weaving techniques, local plants used for curing diseases like sore eyes and even snake venom, and improvised machinery for agriculture. The DOST Mimaropa team documented these innovations to learn about their origin as part of the research process to develop the technology.
Gusto po natin gawin ay bigyang pagkilala yung mga solusyon na naiisip ng mga kasama natin sa community at mas pagbutihin ito para ito naman yung mabigay natin or ma-deploy natin, maibigay natin sa iba pang community na nangangailangan din ng parehong solusyon na nagawa nung mga nasa community level po.
Barangay Naibuan is one of the Mangyan IP communities in San Jose Town. It is a far-flung community located at the mountainous part of the municipality. In Occidental Mindoro, there are 8 Mangyan IP tribes, namely Iraya, Alangan, Tadiyawan, Taubuid, Bangon, Buhid, Hanunuo, and Ratagnon. Occidental Mindoro is the first stop of Salik-Lakbay in Mimaropa, followed by Oriental Mindoro and Palawan. From Philippine Information Agency Occidental Mindoro, Diane Francis C. Gorembalem for Balitang, Pambansa.
An Olympic gold medalist dreams of one day paving the way for sport to be included in the roster of regular events in the Palarong Pambansa is slowly but surely coming true. Who that athlete is, Radyo Pilipinas 2 sports correspondent Dennis Hilanga reveals in this report.
Heidelin Diaz Naranjo's dream to include her sport of weightlifting to the Palarong Pambansa may soon come true. A meeting with Department of Education Secretary Sani Angara became a glimmer of hope for her as the agency vowed to throw its full support. DepEd said Diaz Naranjo is very eager in crafting training programs and doing clinics that will pave the way for weightlifting's inclusion as a regular sport in Palaro for the very first time in history. Further, the country's first Olympic gold medalist added that weightlifting may debut as a demo sport in the 2025 Palarong Pambansa in Lawag City.
Malapit na, malapit na. We just have to do the sa baba. Demo sports, it's possible already next year. And we have to go through the process. Kasi hindi naman agad-agad na kailangan na regular sports agad. But we have to go through the process kasi nga may proseso ang lahat. So, para mas malalong maging known ang sports at saka mas lalong accessible ang sports sa iba't ibang rehiyon. Kasi hindi naman siya accessible pa sa iba't ibang rehiyon. So, hoping na we will reach that goal.
Diaz Naranjo has been consistent the past 10 years in her goal to make it happen, believing Palaro would be a great avenue to discover talented young weightlifters who may replicate what she has done for the Philippines in the world weightlifting scene. Diaz Naranjo did not get the chance to compete at the Palarong Pambansa since weightlifting was never a part of the roster of events in the annual Grassroots Sports Tournament for elementary and high school students since its establishment in 1948. For RP2 Sports, Dennis Hilanga, Balitang, Pambansa.
And that concludes our rundown of the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news and information from all across the nation. From Radyo Pilipinas, I'm Joe Fernandez.
This is our trusted news source, always ready to inform and serve the Filipino people. Catch Balitang Pambansa again next week at 7 a.m., 12 noon, 6 p.m., and 9:30 p.m. For more updates and developments from Radyo Pilipinas, I'm Princess Abiba Saripaudak, and this is
Balitang Pambansa.